What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Here to bring you a video on the possibility of the Detroit Lions signing Jamel Dean in free agency. Now, let's get right into it. So, the Lions 2022 season was fantastic, in my opinion. It wasn't a complete shock like some people thought, or some people mind. It was a complete shock on how the Lions were. I wasn't surprised at all. I'm not a Lions fan, but looking at the Lions 2021, they weren't that far off, honestly. A lot of the games they blew at the very end, a lot of shootouts, but a lot of games at the very end they blew one fumble here, a late interception there by Goff, a blown coverage here or there. At the end of games to help them lose a couple of those games that they should have ended up winning or could have ended up winning, and that definitely turned around in 2022. They were a fringe playoff team, so good for the Lions. I did not see Jared Goff being as good as he was. I'm not gonna lie about that, but looking at their team and their roster and how they can improve, linebacker could be an option. Pass rush is a need. Maybe a new running back. Maybe question mark. I'm not sure. But cornerback is a big, big spot. A bunch of receivers. These teams have receivers going, three or four deep who are pretty good. And you're gonna need cornerbacks to guard these guys, obviously. And right now they don't have the guy to really, match up with the best receivers. And they did a good job in their scheme, but they need one to really rely upon and say, hey, you might not lock them down, but at least you do a good job from start to finish. And I'm looking at Jamel Dean as the main guy for that, honestly. There are a couple good corners on this list. Not a strong corner free agency class. Anthony Everett, James Bradbury, Jamel Dean, Byron Murphy, Marcus Peters are my main guys in this free agency class. I like Dean for the Lions, honestly. He fits perfectly, and he's coming off one of the better seasons of his career. Starting off with the Bucks a couple years ago, I remember seeing him in 2020, and it was clearly to me Carlton Davis number one, Dean is number two. 2 years later, Davis has gotten paid. His contract was like 3 years, 44.5 million. Dean has now surpassed him to me on the Buccaneers depth chart, but the Bucks don't have enough money, in my opinion, to bring Dean back. So I think they're stuck with Davis. Not a bad thing, because Davis is pretty solid. But Dean definitely probably in the open market and will go somewhere else soon. So and he shouldn't cost as much as Davis, honestly. Davis, as I said, 3 years, 44.5 million. The what I've been looking at, the numbers I've been gathering, his estimated total for Dean's contract should be around 3 years, 30 million, give or take a few million. So that's not bad for a top corner on your team if you were to go to the Lions. He matched up pretty well with a lot of top guys. He really does. Nice size, nice weight, some good speed to him. He has some stiff hips. Some stiff hips here and there when he's trying to certain routes receivers run. Hips kind of stiff, and also he kind of jumps a little bit trying to pick the pass off and can fall for double moves a lot. But other than that, though, that's a lot. But other than that, though, I think he'll be a good fit for the Lions, and he'd be their best option. As I said, he's not a lockdown guy. He's not a James Bradbury. If you can get him, snag him. But Bradbury should probably hit the open market and get some good money, and he might stay with the Eagles. He really can. It's definitely a big possibility. If not, I like the Bengals, a couple other teams here and there, because Bradbury's make some nice money. I'm not counting his pockets, but you got trying to get in the mind of a player. I think Bradbury wants to win more, obviously, and I think he can go to a good situation and get paid nicely. Because a lot of good teams like the Giants, the Bengals, he just left the Giants, Bengals, my Falcons, they have a lot of money and they could be winners next year or deep playoff runs as far as Bengals and Giants go. My Falcons, I'm not quite sure. So guys like Bradbury and the Eagles could snatch him, could keep him too. But guys like Bradbury might not be available, so that even weakens the cornerback class even more. So I think the Lions will target Jamel Dean, snatch him up. As I said, he's a 26-year-old, and he's been playing well. He's not great, but he's good enough. He'll be number one guy solidified right now for the Lions. And the Lions have two picks in the first round, pick 6 and pick 18. I think they could go cornerback. I really do in one of those picks. Probably leaning towards more 18 than 6. No real cornerback, in my opinion, should go that high for this class. No real special, super duper special talent. There's no Sauce. There's no what's the guy from the Texans? Singleton. What's his name? Derek Singletary. Forgot his name already since last year, but yeah, there's no him. There's no either one of those guys, in my opinion, who lived up to the hype. So I don't think they should go that high with 6, but 18, maybe trade up a little bit to top 10, 12, somewhere around that range. If you want to move up a little bit to grab your favorite, like Gonzalez from Oregon, he's pretty solid. I like him. A couple other guys as well I have in mind. So I think the Lions could go at least for the top of their depth chart. They'll probably add some guys in the back end as well for depth, but to round out the top of their depth chart, I wouldn't mind seeing them go after Jamel Dean, the veteran in free agency, and going after a top corner, whoever they deem fit with the 6 or the 18 pick, and they'd be right on track. They really would be. Some other players I would like to see the Lions try to get. Tremaine Edmonds from the Bills, he'll be a free agent if they can't come to a long-term extension. I wouldn't mind him. The linebacker spot as well is something that's kind of a weak spot for the Lions team. So, they did perform well. They do have some spots to grow in, some spots to improve at, and it's definitely good. I can't even talk. Definitely gonna be. Excuse me. It's gonna be fun to see this team next year, how they end up. Hopefully, Goff can remain a MVP caliber quarterback as he was this past season. He was fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait to see, man. Like I said, some other options I like him as well. Marcus Peters for the Lions. He's a little older. Byron Murphy's not bad at all. It's not bad. I don't know if the Arizona Cardinals. Excuse me, my fourth video today, guys. Excuse me. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals will let Byron Murphy go though. It sounds good. He's their top corner, but they haven't found him no help at all. So that's a tough part. So yeah, it's kind of tough to see what happens with Byron Murphy. But I wouldn't mind him either. Him or Jamel Dean to me, but I like Dean a little bit more for the Lions scheme, the Lions system. And as I said, Dean can match up, I think, a little bit better. He's more athletic than Murphy, in my opinion. More athletic. Like I said, he got some good traits. He just likes to jump the pass a little bit, jump the ball, get beat on doubles. So you need a safety behind him for the most part because he can get beat one-on-one in man coverage. But like I said, I do like his athleticism. He's talented. So and Dean needs to be the star of his own show. The Bucks, they tried their best the last couple of years to build around Tom Brady, keep the band together. They pay a lot of people, but it's not going to work out. And you've seen the list of free agency this offseason. I don't think they can retain Dean. Even though Tom Brady, he retired, he's still on their books. Even though they can restructure and push it back another year or two, it's definitely still going to hit hard. So yeah, I'm looking at the Bucks not being able to retain Dean, and Dean goes somewhere else. The Lions my best spot for him, honestly. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.